Oh, I can multiply.
All right, let's start with percent composition. Y'all find a stopping point. Now, percent composition is one of the easiest things that we calculate. And believe it or not, it's one of the things that more people mess up on the test with because it's so easy they forget how to do it. I don't know why, but they forget how to do it. It is easy. So, if I wanted y'all to find, let's just say, the percent males in the room. Y'all already know how to do this in math class. So, it's essentially the same thing as science class. So, if I wanted the percent males, what two things would y'all need to know to find the percent males in here? There you go. The total people. Okay. Okay. And the males. So, the same concept is going to apply to what we're getting ready to do with compounds. All right. So, we're going to find the percent composition of each element in a compound. That's what we're going to do. We're going to find the percent composition of each individual element in a compound. So, let's say, for just an example, that we do Na2SO4. First of all, how many different elements do I have in the compound? I have 3, okay? So there are 3 elements. So I'm going to have 3 percentages, okay? I'm going to find the percent of 3 different elements. So, just like when I asked you to find the percent males in the room, what information are we going to need to find the percent of each element? How many what? Well, we've already got that piece. Think about these 2 things, the total people and the number of males. What would we need to know about this compound in order to find the percent? Because we're going to find essentially the percent sodium, the percent sulfur, and the percent oxygen. So what would we need in order to find the percent sodium? How many what? Okay, we are going to need to know that. We need to be a little, I don't know if I need to say more generic or more specific, but we need to know something else. You're going to use that to find something. What are we going to use it to find? What are we going to use the number of sodiums to find? What are we going to need to know in order to find the percent sodium? You said we had to know all of the people in the room. What would we need to know about the what? That's what Kayla said.
Wait, say it again.
I said, in order to find the percent males, you said we had to know the total number of people in the room and the number of males in the room. So I'm asking you, what do you have to know about this compound in order to find the percent sodium? What would be the same as knowing all the people in the room about the compound? The mass of what? The element itself, okay? So we need to know the mass of each element. That's 1. Number 2. We're almost there. What's the second thing we got to have? So that would be called what? All right, I can live with the mass of the compound. It has a real name that we've learned, but I'll write mass of the compound. What'd you say, Cameron? can live with that even better, which is called formula mass. Okay, we got to know the formula mass, which is like knowing all the people in the room. Okay, formula mass is like you counting up everybody in the room. The mass of the element is like you counting up just the males or just the females. So, if we want to find the percent composition, if we got to know the formula mass, we'll have all the information we need if we just go ahead and calculate formula mass. All right. Everybody have what they want off this slide? All right, let's set it up with the formula mass. So how many, let me write the formula since it's not on the board. How many NAs do I have?
2.
How many S's do I have?
1.
How many O's do I have? Just out of idle curiosity, if you wrote that formula on the test Friday, could you reduce it?
Yes.
No.
Let me know.
Yes.
Yes.
I ask this question a lot, and I always get this answer.
Oh, no, because it's 3. No.
You guys are seeing the 2 and the 4. What's sulfur have?
1.
Can you reduce all of them?
No.
Then the answer is no. Just a side note while we were chatting. All right, so the mass of Na, if we look it up, is 23. Yes, I rounded it up just to make the whole numbers easier on Ms. Wall's math. I would use the decimals if I was doing this on paper. 2 times 23 is 46. 32, 64, 142. Well, wow.
Wow.
Did you not do this?
Yeah. I am.
Hi.
I agree.
So, if we want to find the percent sodium, based on what you just told me, you said I needed the mass of the element and the mass of the compound. Okay? So, percent sodium. What mass do I use for sodium? Do I use the 23 or do I use 46?
46.
That's right, because I need all the sodium.
That's how you
So I'm going to use 46 divided by, what's the mass of the whole compound?
43.
Now, in math class, what'd y'all learn about changing it to a percent? Y'all multiply by what? Very good. All right, so if we do the same thing for sulfur, what's the mass of sulfur? 32. Over, what's the mass of the compound? And then times, and for the absolute last element, the mass is 64, over, and then times 100. Now, when we get all three of these answers, what should they add up to be? Anybody know?
100.
Should be 100. But let's say that we round it off. And when we add them up, we get like 99.8. Should y'all chase down the 0.2? No. So do not do that. Okay, now if you add it up and you get 75.8, you have a problem.
Yes, I.
But do not worry about chasing down 0.2. Now, are there significant digits? What did I give you?
No.
No.
So no. So let's say when I do this, I get 32 point. Here, let me write it in a different color. I get 32.39. I'm just going to make it 4%. All right. I get 32 divided 22.5. And I get 45.1. Some of you might have chosen to take it out 2 decimal places. Some of you might have rounded to whole numbers. Does it matter whether you take it out to whole numbers, whether you round off to 1 or 2 places behind the decimal? No, because there's no significant digits here. So you can choose the one that you like in any of those 3. It doesn't matter to me. Okay? Questions? Percent composition is not hard, is it? All right, add 10B to your homework. So if you've already done 5 through 9, then you only have to add 10B. If you have not done the 3 of them, then you have 3 more to finish your homework. Okay, but 5 through 10B is your homework. We will do a little bit tomorrow with test review, probably no more than 30 to 45 minutes tops of class. And then we will move on to empirical formulas for the rest of class. Okay? So if you have questions, concerns, anything you want to ask, by all means do that tomorrow. And then we'll test on Friday.
Yes, I am.